Back to your phone calls. Tim is calling from Los Angeles, listening on KTLK. Hey, Tim, welcome to the program.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Ooh, this is a hot topic, by the way, because, 6 months after 9/11, my aunt died from thyroid cancer from being a survivor in Hiroshima.
Really?
Yes. And it's pronounced Hiroshima, by the way.
Hiroshima,
you're right. Well, don't worry about it.
All right.
But, excuse me. But the story she told, it's so evil. It's so, oh my gosh, it's so wicked. I mean, the way she survived was she was in high school,
mm-hmm.
and she remembered that when the bomb exploded, I guess one of the walls collapsed, and they ran towards the other side of the wall, which was still erect, and just students were piling on top of students,
mm-hmm.
and the teacher was on top. My aunt doesn't really remember how long she was up, maybe a couple of hours, days, or even weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But when she crawled out with another fellow classmate, the other students and teacher were dead. So, what protected them were the dead bodies in the wall from the blast.
Mm.
But as they left the classroom, she and a classmate went their separate ways. She said, if there's anything, if there's someplace such, if there's a place such as hell, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the destruction, besides everything being destroyed, she saw women who were pregnant, dragging their fetuses by the umbilical cord, dead, burnt, crisped. She tried to help people.
Mm-hmm.
She said that one of the people asked for water. My aunt gave them water. They thanked her and died. And another one where the person was trapped, so she would reach out with her hands, pull on the hands, and the burnt flesh would just come out, and all you saw was just skeleton, the bones for the hand. And she was like destroyed, for lack of a better word, at what she saw. And my aunt, back in 2001, slipped into a coma. And I saw her, in the coma in the hospital. Her left ear was one big gigantic keloid. It just melted. I mean, the flesh melts in this intense heat. The radiation that went into her body, into her thyroid, just spread and was just eating her up. I was angered. I was sad. I had all these emotions. I knew she was going to die because they decided to drop that goddamn bomb on a city. I mean, it was not a military base. I mean, I don't like bombings. I don't like wars. I don't like any of that crap. But they killed my aunt. And when I was doing even further research, there are Americans out there who would say the bombings were justified. It was used to save the U.S. troops. Blah blah blah. And I tell people there were American POWs in Hiroshima. Americans, the U.S. killed Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They died in POW camps, prisoner war camps. Soldiers were dead, melted. And there are, I think, there are names in the Hiroshima Memorial site with American names. But people don't realize that the U.S. is willing to sacrifice its own. And now there's a call. Bush wants to have a goddamn war with Iran and wants to do the same damn thing. what is this with this country? I mean, do they hate Asians that much or something? Don't they realize what will happen? Or is it just, they just don't care? They just don't give a damn. They're just, I can't grasp why they would do something evil and bad as that.
Well, you're not alone. I mean, there are other Americans like you who simply can't get our minds around any of this. Let me ask you, Tim, were any other members of your family in Japan at the time, just your aunt?
See, my aunt was in Hiroshima. My mom was in Japan, too. They were shooting at her in another part of Japan. And we had relatives in Tokyo, and they survived about 30 seconds over Tokyo and the bombing in Tokyo.
Were any of your family members, I would assume at the time, I'm just guessing here, lived in California. I'm also assuming that you're of Japanese descent. Were any of your family members put in internment camps?
My dad and my grandparents on my father's side wished. My dad wished he was in the concentration camp. Why? Because they had the opportunity to leave California, or actually move inland 350 miles more. They went up to Idaho. They used to beat the ass out of him because he was Japanese. They called him Little Tojo. They used to bury him in the snow, kick him, used to spit on him, call him all these racist things.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard this, and my dad's today, he's like sick. I mean, he's destroyed. I want to go up to Rexburg, Idaho, and beat the living crap out of the people. I want to beat those people up. I'm so angered. I want to do that, but I'm a progressive. I won't do it. That's what's stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's stopping me. I'm a liberal. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a neocon where I seek revenge. I mean,
All right, Tim. Listen, I'm glad you called in. I know that it's a struggle to tell your story. I appreciate what you shared with us. All right.
Oh, Mike, one last thing, if it's okay.
Sure.
Remember, you were saying who's out there, who's making the change, who is protesting.
Right.
There's a group called We Are Change.
Right.
I'm a member of We Are Change LA. We're going out there. We're protesting the war. We're protesting Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran. We're protesting what the Bush crime family is doing. That's what we're doing. But we're considered as, conspiracy theorist wingnuts, conspiracy theory wingnuts.
Right.
But we're going out there. So there's still hope out there, people. And I want to say thank you again, Mike.
All right, Tim. Thanks for checking in. I just feel sorrow for what you have experienced in your family.